Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 3 of Zero Builds an Empire in the Last Federation. So, it's been a little while since I last fired up this game, but I have been kind of thinking about what I'm going to do. So the first thing I want to do is I want to head into my flagship customization, because there's a few I noticed in here while looking around before recording that I think I should switch out. So the stunner doesn't seem all that useful to me. It stuns small and medium ships, which generally aren't too much of a worry for me. I'm going to switch that out for the Giga Cannon. I already have the shortwave virus to help take over, small and medium ships. I'm going to leave Operation Wolf, Operation Kavichi in there because they seem to be doing well for me. I do have these orbital bombardment drones, which will be kind of good if we ever need to go into more planet attacking mode, but for general warfare, these guys will do just fine. I do want to change out this transfer shielding, which I will probably never use, for an afterburner, which I might. So that's the first... Oh, that sounded interesting. So that's the first things I want them to do. The next thing I want to do is I noticed that in my inventory, I happen to have 4 Skylaxian pirates. Well, it doesn't seem kosher for me to hang on to them, so we're going to hand them over to the Skylaxian government. And as soon as I figure out where to do this, somewhere in here. Here we go, prisoner exchange. I can either give them their prisoners back for credits, or I can get influence with them. I think I'm going to go for the influence. That seems like it would be more useful to me right now. So we're going to do that. Alright. So now the next thing that we're going to do, since we don't like the acutians very much, we're going to come over here. We're going to go into hostile actions. So you don't like these folks, do you? Well, you've come to the right place. Since you don't yet have an informant here, there's a limit to what sort of damage you can do. Your intel is limited. An informant is your pipeline into the criminal underbelly of a populace. Of course, some races simply do not have a criminal underbelly, so you can't ever get an informant, which limits your hostile actions. The Endors are too utopian to have criminals, and the Thraxians have no criminals since they are a hive mind. Even if you can't harm someone directly through your own actions, remember that you can still harm them either by helping their enemies militarily or by brokering political deals against them. Some hostile actions will cost you credit, whereas others will gain it for you. This is your social currency, so to speak. Usually you gain credit by doing friendly actions, but it varies. You can then spend credit with almost any race to get them to do what you want, or with mercenaries. Credit is basically money, but it is a little more nuanced than that. The other thing to pay close attention to is how much influence you gain or lose with various races through your actions. The higher your influence with a race, the easier it is to get them to do things for you. The lower it is, the more likely they are to try to kill you. Okay, so what I want to do is... Interesting. Well, get a... Okay, we're going to get an informant so that we can... Then, hopefully... Here we go, raid for technology. Computer report. There are precisely 3 ways for you to get technology, unusual circumstances or certain quests aside. You can do a dispatch mission to research a technology alongside a race, and you can both learn it together. You can do a dispatch mission to research a technology that a race already knows, and do it a third the normal time, but without any influence or credit gains. Or you can run a raid against one of the orbital science labs and steal something that they already know. This is that third option. This will cost me 100 credits, and I will get laser pistols, which is good. The acutians won't like me very much. I'll lose a little bit with the Andors, a little bit with the Skylaxians, and a little bit with the Thraxians. And I'm going to be increasing the cost to basically do this again in the future. Yeah, we're going to steal laser pistols. Alright, let's do it. Alrighty, so what do I need to do? I need to go to the science lab. That's a shipyard. We might as well blow that up while we're here. There's the science lab. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is kind of start heading this way. And I'm guessing this thing is weak to... It's not really telling me what it's weak to, but I'm guessing it's going to be weak to the energy blaster, because most structures seem to be. So we're going to target you. Whoops. I still have it on auto-fire, don't I? Let's keep going this way. We'll switch it back to targeted. Shoot it this time. How's my shielding doing? It's taking a little bit of a beating, but not too bad so far. Alright, we're going to use a special ability just to destroy some of these incoming shots, give my shields a chance to recharge, as well as to get some fighters of my own out. Alright, let's keep shooting it. This thing's almost dead, so keep shooting. Shields are holding up well. Okay, cool. So that's probably dealt them a little bit of a blow. Let's fire up the afterburner. What's this actually before I go flying off? Public order. I don't care so much about that. Afterburner. So let's get moving over there. We're just going to switch over to that as we go. Whee! Wow, this guy can move. Alright, now that we're here, let's slow her down a bit, Johnny. Alright, we're just going to stop there. And switch over to targeted. And we're going to take out all of the turrets here as we dock with the science lab. Oop, too far away. Alright, can we turn off the afterburner now? I don't need it anymore. Alright, we're going to boost up the engine so that we can just basically go like this. So we lose a turn of being very damaging, but that's okay. Now that I don't need my engines, we'll boost the power to the weapons back up. Let's... What size of a ship are you? Does it tell me? Doesn't look like it. I wonder if this will take you over. Nope, doesn't look that way. Alright, turns left to complete docking 4, so I basically just have to hang out here. Well, I do. We will target these guys. More or less just hanging out here. One turn left. There we go. Alrighty. Action and event notifications enabled. Even though you might not have known it, you've been flying a bit blind up until now. The 8 races are all the time taking various actions, and periodic events are happening on planets and space installations throughout the solar system. A new sidebar on the right-hand side of the solar map will show you the major ones only. The button below that lets you see everything. Each little icon in each row in the full notification log has information on who did it, where it happened, if relevant, and what happened. Oh, by the way, those icons on the sidebar? They are color-coded by race, so that you can tell at a glance which race each icon corresponds to. This is what the full notification log looks like. You can click the text of any item to get a pop-up with the details about it. You can also click any icon in either of the 2 columns to the left to filter certain kinds of notifications. For instance, this is the view you get if you click the Thoraxian icon. We just see all the actions and events that are theirs. Or here's what you see if you click the Research Tech icon. This shows you all the techs that have been researched by any race. And on the last screen, here's what happens if you click the acutian icon. You can see the history of all the techs researched just by them. Pretty handy. But wait, there's one last little bit. If you click into the planetary details on any planet or outpost on the main solar map, you can get specific event logs just for that location too. Okay, so the acutians are down to hated now, which, woohoo. They lost 30 economic power, which, good. The more I can hurt them, the better, right? I got 100, or I spent 100 credits, and I got the technology for laser pistols. Alright, so I'm gonna go through and clear out all this, because clearing notifications from your sidebar. Don't panic! Yes, the notification icon you just clicked disappeared, but that's okay. The full notification log is available down at the bottom of the screen right under this list, and those never go away. Clicking the notifications on the sidebar to clear them helps you keep track of what is new, by getting rid of what you don't want to see anymore. The sidebar holds a maximum of 50 items anyway, whereas the full log below holds as many as it needs to. So, we're just going to clear this away. Tech has been researched. That was the quest. Okay, all this I don't care about anymore. Okay, that way we can make sure that we're only seeing the stuff that's new and that we actually care about. So now that we have these pistols, let's go and hand them out to our Federation races. We're going to go over to the Skylaxians. We're going to go into the Senate. No, it's not here I want. It's the friendly actions, isn't it? Friendly acts. Gift technology. Here we go. Oh, do they already have laser pistols? I thought they didn't. Let's take a look. Laser pistols. Those are down here, aren't they? Oh, maybe not. Laser pistols. Where are they? Oh, laser pistols. Oh yeah, okay, I guess the Skylaxians already have them. Never mind then. So the Andors don't. Oh, and they can't learn it. So what did I just do that for? Oh well. At least now I have it, and the Andors are even more ticked off, which I'm okay with. Alright, so the Skylaxians right now are a bit on a negative economic trend. Let's see if we can't fix that for them. I want to go into here. Who's currently in power? The Pro Trade. Oh no, Pro Environment seem to be the highest. So this might not be the easiest thing in the world, but let's see how much it's going to cost to do this. We want to industrialize, yes? Positive economic trend will start. It cost me 109 credits. That's nothing. So let's do that. Okay, so that's got them on a, hopefully, yep. That's reversed the negative trend and got them trending up, which is good. What are my Andor friends doing? They're trending up in their environment, which is probably where they should be focusing their attention right now, so I'm going to leave that trend as is. Now if we go into the political power grid here, we can see that our Skylaxian friends are not doing the greatest as far as space power is concerned. Oh wow, these guys are really ramping up with their ground forces, aren't they? Might be something to keep an eye on. So what we're going to go do is we're going to go in here and see, is this where I can... I know there's a way I can help them build up their... Let me see, maybe I can do it, maybe it's the Senate that I have to do this. Ah, here we go. So this will double the Skylaxian warship production for 30 months. Hydral, make more ships. That is all. Look, there's no cost to you to even do it. You don't have to divert budget or stop anything else you're doing or anything like that. There's literally no cost. Why am I even having to convince you to do this? Oh, humane working conditions and people can only bear these workloads for so long and blah blah. You could wring some more out of them for a while at least. Yep, so that's what we're gonna do. Make more warships, please. That will hopefully boost up their space presence. And then that way, if the Thoraxians get out of hand, we can basically have the Skylaxians and the Andors tag team them. That's the idea, anyway. So, is there anything else I kind of feel I need to focus on? The Andors don't really have any ground forces. That could be a problem. Let's go see if we can't convince them to fix that. Let me see. So the Abstainers are currently the ruling party. Let me see. That will... No, that's... Speeches. General... I don't think I can do this, actually. I think I need another party to be in power. Let's see. Which party do I need to be in power? Industrialize all robots? What does this do for me? 600 credits. Negative environmental trend will end on Linos. Positive economic trend will start on Linos. The acutians will... Their attitude towards the Andors will go up. Positive environmental trend will end on Lycan. Positive economic trend will begin on Lycan. Oh, that's helping the acutians. I don't really want to do that, I don't think. I don't think I can really tell them to boost their ground force production, which is a bit of a shame. Oh well, we'll just have to make sure that they don't get anybody landing on their planets. So let's see, if we take a look here, the Burlests are getting pretty close to being able to get into space. So I think what I'm going to do... Let me see. What are the consequences if I want to deliver tech to them? Everybody will have a major problem with that one, except for the Thoraxians. But you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to do it, just to, again, if they're going to be in space soon anyway, I'd much rather them be friendly with me. So let's do that. Hey, that's no fair. The ships here are projecting some sort of field that prevents you from using your special abilities. That bites, actually. Well, at least this doesn't happen very often. It's just certain kinds of missions. But if you see your ability bar mysteriously missing, you'll know why. The little text about the mission scenario will always mention when this is the case, too. Alright, so where do I need to go? Holy heck. Alright, who owns this one? That's the Skylaxians. I'd rather not make them angry. Oops, let's not do what you're doing. Who owns this one? Skylaxians. I don't think there's any chance that I can sneak through here. If I were to... see, I don't think... Well, you know what? Let's find out. Let's find out. Maybe I can kind of slip between those two there. I'm thinking no, but... Let's find out. Alright. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. So head this way, and then straight up. Oh yeah! Done and done. Pod successfully jettisoned with technical documents.
The Burlesque warlords are now spacefaring. Extreme caution is advised. They seem likely to take their constant internal wars to the solar stage.
That's okay. As long as there's fighting each other and not everybody else, I'm okay with that. Oh cool, the Borine. Military has a secret proposal to gain spacefaring technology. This is Defense Minister Specimen 3004. We are currently working to gain the technology of manned spaceflight. There is some sort of military operation going in our upper atmosphere involving races that are already spacefaring. They seem to have found some sort of abandoned technology of yours, as best I can tell from the radio chatter. If you swoop in and manage to crash at least one of their flagships into our planet, we can use their technology to get ourselves into space. Nobody will realize that you made this deal with us, and they will simply think you were trying to reclaim your lost tech. And if you destroy them all, who knows? Maybe you can. Alright, so I think I am going to accept this quest. Because it'll get the Borines into space a little early. I think, yeah, it's the purple guys over here. So about an hour early. But not only will it get them into space liking us more, it will also get us some Hydral tech, which could be valuable. So let's do this. Alright, so who do I need to kill? These are the Burlests. Wow, they got into action pretty quickly, didn't they? So we're going to pump up my shields and weapons. What are these guys? Borines. Burlesque. Okay, so we're gonna go after this guy first. We need the energy blaster for him. So let's keep moving. Just keep following him. Aha, all the text, can't see what's going on. Oh, his shields are gone, so let's switch over to the gravity lance. I'm going to turn down the combat speed a little bit here, at least for the time being. Actually, I prefer it to be quicker than that, so back up it goes. Alright, so one of them's down. We have 2 potential flagships left, which are these guys over here. So let's start heading over in that direction. We'll switch over to the minigun just so we can target these little guys on our way over. Alright, that should be close enough. Switch over to that, and let's target him. How many shields does he have left? So a couple rounds of this should do. Alright, and now we hit him with a gravity lance. How is our shields doing? Let's take a couple points away from weapons to put them into shields. No, I didn't want to target him. There we go. Okay, got that guy. Let's pick up the escape pods while we're over here. I want to auto-target. Go. Alright, so that's got me 3 burlists. Where's that other flagship? That's this guy down here, I think. So we're gonna target him specifically. And there we go. Done and done.
The Borines are now spacefaring. They are solitary and dangerous. They may be a difficult ally.
Oh yeah, I know you like them graphs. No, really? It's just me? Well, I am a computer. Anyway, if you find you want to get an idea of trends over time for lots of stuff, then there are a few new buttons on your Detailed Intel tab on the main solar map. More will also open up later. Let me show you a quick few examples of the ways in which graphs can be useful. Check out this military graph, showing the total power of all the races. See how the Skylaxians overtake the Acutians? That's from text, not outpacing them in ship production. You could verify that in the notification log, tech progress tab, or racial power grid. There are lots of ways to figure out how things came to such a dire end. When the end comes. I have total faith in you. Bam! Check out this one. Ah, there it is. Check out this one. Population graphs of all sorts abound. There really are a lot. This one shows total raw citizenry. Look how many freaking acutians there are. By the way, these numbers are totally for example purposes only, and aren't from your specific situation. Thank goodness. Even with 112 billion citizens, the acutians don't look like they stand a chance against the Skylaxians. Boom! Ground troops graph. Looks like the Skylaxians and the acutians are actually pretty evenly matched here. The acutians have the ability to rapidly repurpose their citizens, so a ground invasion by the Skylaxians wouldn't go well anyway. Better bomb them from orbit. Seriously, I'm not just quoting the cliche. Actually go bomb them from orbit. I mean it. If this was your situation, which it's not, but if you find yourself in a similar one, that's totally what you should do. Alright, last graph. I'm giddy from all those numbers and lines. Anyway, this shows smuggler populations. Too many smugglers of one race and they'll collapse into a smuggler empire, which isn't the best. Fortunately, there aren't many smugglers. Well, that was a few of the mini graphs. Do you need to study them intensely? Of course not. Are they fun to look at? Depends on you, I guess. Are they useful for answering historical questions? Heck yes, nothing better. Okay, so the Burles lost some power. I destroyed 26 ships. What did I not get? Oh yeah, I got spread shot. Woohoo. And the Borine became spacefaring. Let's go into my ship customization here, which is here. There one of these I can get rid of. If I take a look at the spread shot, sprays bullets in a wide arc. Excellent for hosing down ranges of smaller ships. Alright, if I'm taking out smaller ships, that seems like a good replacement for the minigun. We'll try it. I might not keep it. Alright. So the Borines became spacefaring via smuggling by yours truly. That was the quest I just completed. And the Borines the Burles became spacefaring via smuggling, which again, yours truly. So let's do some tech research with these Skylaxians, I'm thinking. Actually, let's do it with the Andors since they like us less right now. So friendly actions, technology. What can we research? Oh, bomb shelters are like 8 months away. Let's do that. Eight solar months passed, 2 minutes 40 seconds of relative time. I gained some credits. The Andors like me a tiny bit more, and I got a copy of bomb shelter. Alright, who got... Okay, that was the tech we just did. The Evox got optical computers. There are also... I thought I heard some fighting going on. There's another window that opens up a little later that I wish I had right now, that shows you, like, all the relations between all the various races and whatnot. Because right now I'm not really sure who's at war with who. Oh well, let's see if we can't help these guys do some more tech research. Alright, if I'm going to do one of these two, I should probably hire some scientists, because 53 months is a long time to be out. So I want to knock that down by, say, 20. How much is that going to cost me to do? Oh, that's more than I really want to spend right now. Yeah, okay. Let's see if the Scalaxians have some simple tech for me to research with them. Friendly axe, technology, cooperative research. Lab-grown meat. Alright, that seems like a decent one to do some tech research with. Yeah, it's going on over here. Alliances in general, and the Federation in particular. It's time to start thinking about the Federation at last. New political deals relating to the Federation have now opened up with every race. Some races are easier to get into the Federation. The Peltians and the Andors are very easy. The Scalaxians are pretty straightforward. The main requirement with those is a high enough influence rating with the races involved. But nothing's ever that simple. A lot of the other races are much more resistant, and if you have bad influence with any race, you may never be able to directly convince them. If that's the case, then you have only two options. Make sure that race gets exterminated, or use another race to backdoor them into the Federation. The Scalaxians, Acutians, and Borines are excellent for convincing other races to join, under the right circumstances. Special circumstances can also lead to the formation of a federation. For instance, if the Burles, Acutians, and Thoraxians all really like you, you convince them to make a federation, but they may then betray you in return, so watch out. Or if the combined might of the Federation military is strong enough that you can convince the Burles to join based on, well, call it respect. Bear in mind that it does matter which government you approach. The same deal that was so cheap when approaching the Andors to form a federation with the Peltians is not something you can afford in the Peltian voting proxies on the other end of the bargain. Your influence with the government you are directly brokering with is a big factor. Well, hey, that still doesn't sound too bad. I repeat, nothing's ever that simple. Once the Federation has formed, resistance and resentment immediately start building against it. The Anti-Federation Alliance, or AFA, will start gathering demonstrators, some of whom eventually turn into insurgents. You and the Federation governments can hunt them down, but this doesn't always go over well with the enemy governments, and AFA sympathizers can even crop up within the Federation itself. More bad news. The Federation is not remotely the only kind of alliance that can form. At least half a dozen distinct kinds of hostile alliances may form. If the situation progresses a certain way, I tell you, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. Suffice it to say, once a hostile alliance forms, it must be destroyed, one way or another. Once one forms, details on what conditions must be met to break it are revealed. Remember, your goal is for a federation that unites the solar system. Until all the surviving races and planets are members, your work is incomplete. There is no one way to accomplish this. It may be a bloodbath, or it may be very behind-the-scenes political. All 8 races may survive, or as few as only one may actually wind up living. Whatever gets the job done. Okay, so we got some credits from the Scalaxians. We also got lab-grown meat. Sounds yummy. Alright, so that was researched with me. And tech researched via resource expenditure. They got subatomic theory through that method. Interesting. Alright guys, so I think I will call the episode here. And next episode, we're going to go ahead and start looking at some of those options that opened up to help us form our federation. Hopefully next episode, we can actually start building this federation, and then the real fun begins, I'm starting to think. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and so long.